Today's sponsor is Crypto.com. Crypto.com is my go-to centralized exchange for liquidating my crypto assets. With their Crypto.com Visa debit card, I can load up my mined Ethereum to pay for power and other operating costs quickly while earning up to 8% cash back. In addition to the Visa debit card, there are additional fiat options including wire transfers to easily receive your profits. Crypto.com also offers additional services including trading and even staking to earn additional revenue on your investments. Join 10 million plus users buying and selling 100 plus cryptocurrencies at true cost by using my affiliate link in the description for a $25 funding bonus. Or enter referral code SOAT at sign up for the same bonus. Remember, cryptocurrency investment comes with significant risks, so do your own research. What's up, sons? It's Blind Run with Son of a Tech once again, and today I am here with Omar, and he runs a data center hosting facility for miners, as well as handles distribution through his website, Mining ProDirect. Correct?
ProDirect Mining.
Oh, ProDirect Mining. There's my dyslexia there. So we're going to have links for all of that in the description below. The reason I'm up here is Omar reached out essentially to help distribute some GPUs. So hopefully what this means for y'all that are watching this is that we have another option for purchasing GPUs. And as you guys know, whenever there are new websites and new distributors that are coming out onto the market, it's very important for me to go out and verify that they are who they say they are, they have equipment, and they are able to actually ship. And because this website is so new, I was like, hey, let me come on up there and check out the facilities. We're going to be doing a little bit of a facility tour as well. And then we will have all the links for you guys and verify, of course, that you will get the items that you order. And that's kind of the goal here. So, Omar, tell us a little bit about yourself, how you got into it.
Yeah, so a little bit about me. My dad's a systems administrator, does contracting work for a couple different companies. So growing up, I guess you can say, like, we've always been kind of techie, having custom built PCs growing up. That's how we kind of got interested in mining and didn't really start until last year. And with that being said, we were able to kind of leverage our network and resources to kind of get GPUs when no one could really get GPUs. And so we have, a small data center here in Dallas and a larger warehouse in Fort Worth, which that will be primarily for ASIC hosting. But with that being said, we, supply a lot of different farms with equipment. We supply resellers. We supply, end users, like a lot of consumers that are like you guys that are watching, just to help them get the equipment they need. I know the supply chain's a lot better now than it used to be, but yeah, I mean that's just a little bit about what we do. We do hosting, mining as a service. We have those 2 centers here in DFW. We're local. You can come visit us anytime, shake our hand. We're not one of those companies that don't have a location.
Gotcha. So as far as the hosting goes, if somebody wanted to host and they're not necessarily from the Dallas area, how does that process work?
Yeah, so first we would kind of see how many miners they would want to host. For this site, we kind of have a minimum requirement on the Fort Worth location. There isn't a minimum requirement for that. And they would we would see how many they would want to host, draft up a contract. Primarily it'd be 2 months deposit, and it would be a year term with 15. You can cancel at any time, but you have to give 15 days notice before you cancel, so then we can kind of prepare for it. If we have people to fill your spot if there's not enough space, and then basically if both parties agree on the terms, then you just ship your miners here, and we would host it for you, and then also bill you monthly on that.
Okay. And then you would bill for the power cost, and then you have a hosting fee as well. And do you know
Yes.
what the average cost of that is?
It varies between both of our sites. It the Fort Worth site, I would say if you're doing like a bulk hosting deal, like if you have quite a bit of miners, then we could probably hit that 8 to 9 cent range all in, and that'll also include the hosting and management fee.
Okay. So you roll in basically the hosting and management fee into the basically into the power cost, sort of.
Yeah.
It would be like an 8 to 9 cents a kilowatt hour, to be clear.
Yeah, and
Okay.
for the GPU miners that we host here at the data center, it would be a slightly different deal here, just because GPU miners, there's a lot more variables. You know, you're tweaking each individual card comparatively to just one ASIC that
Right.
you only have to
And
do.
do you guys handle that tweaking for the end user?
Yes, we handle the tweaking for them.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you'll handle the overclocking, etc.
Yeah, we would run it to the best of our capabilities, but then also if you want to do your own settings, we can also do that as well. Say if you want to do like dual mining for ton or any other coin, we can provide that service.
Okay, cool. And then as far as where they can get in contact with you regarding the hosting service, is that going to be on the ProDirectMining.com website?
Yes, that's going to be on our ProDirectMining.com website. Just fill up the contact form, and then also we have a store where we sell, ASICs, GPUs, accessories, containerized solutions for some of you bigger guys out there, and yeah, I mean, everything's all on the website. If you want to also liquidate your equipment, we have a network of buyers that we can probably get the best offer for your equipment, or at least try and help you out to reach your target price that you want to sell at. If you're looking to liquidate what you currently have and get the latest and greatest equipment.
So now on the store, you're going to be having more equipment or being listed on the store shortly. You have some new shipments coming in.
Yeah, I mean, we have all the mainstream ASICs. You have your Bitmain, your Cadena ASICs. I'm pretty sure we have some Doge ASICs there too. But sorry,
No, you're good.
I'm trying to remember. We have some Jazz miners as well. I'm not too sure if you're
Okay, so yeah,
familiar
the
with
Jazz
Jazz
miners
Miner.
I'm familiar with.
Yeah.
A lot of the ETH ASICs, I think a lot of people are kind of questioning on whether or not to get into those
Yeah, I
at
mean,
this point.
yeah, I mean, it's something that we would just like to offer, right? Like, we're not financial advisors. If you want to purchase whatever ASIC you want, then we want to help you get that
Yeah,
product.
supply that.
Yeah, so I mean, that's just kind of where we're at. We want to bridge the gap, kind of, between, risking sending money to overseas, potentially losing your money, and not getting the product that you ordered. We
Right.
want to have a physical location that we can help you get the stuff you need. Although we're not brick and mortar, so we don't have a store you can kind of just walk in, like Target or Walmart. But we do have sites that we can schedule appointments if you want to meet and consult about how we can help you scale your farm to where you want it to be.
Right. So as far as the first time you got into cryptocurrency, when was that and what got you into it?
I first got in 2017. I had some friends that made about 100K on the XRP pump, so I bought some cryptos at that time. Some bought some altcoins, some projects disappeared, and then also had some Ethereum at that time. So I'm bullish on the whole crypto space right now. I still think we're still early in it. It's being institutionalized by a lot of big players, and so that's why it's crypto kind of mirrors to a certain extent of the main traditional markets, and it's well on its way. Just like how the internet in 2000, people were like, oh, is it going to be a thing.
Yeah.
This is the same thing that we're seeing.
And then what drove you towards mining instead of just focusing on investing in crypto?
Well, the thing I like about mining is that, say you deploy 100,000 into crypto, right now. Say, Bitcoin's at 35,000. If it stays at 35,000 at the end of the year, then you didn't really gain or lose anything. You were just invested in the market for a whole year. Right. But if you invest into machines, then you can accumulate Bitcoin on a daily basis, and it doesn't matter if the price stays the same, goes up or down, you're still growing your amount of Bitcoin that you have.
Revenue over increase in price.
Yeah. So I mean, there's certain advantages to just purchasing the crypto. Like, say if you bought it at a really good price, you can easily double, triple your money based on whatever project it is. But there's a reason why these large firms like Marathon Holdings, Riot, Lancium, they're pouring billions of dollars into infrastructure, building out these farms, because they can get, on a rough yardstick, very rough, about 40% APR on their investments. And that's even if Bitcoin stays sideways.
So, because this is an interesting evolution. So you buy some crypto, then you kind of move into mining. I'm assuming you built some rigs yourself initially.
Yeah.
And kind of played with it from there. And now at this point, what you've done is you've expanded into data centers, and then now you are looking at hosting. What made you decide to go from just, basically controlling your own assets in like a data center situation to moving into hosting? Is that basically a scalability strategy?
Yeah, I mean, it goes back to the fact that we want to help bridge the gap. So what we've seen, like in California, like their electricity prices are much higher than it is here in Texas. And we kind of want to help those people, or any people that have, high electricity rates, kind of take advantage. Because at the end of the day, like when push comes to shove, if we do hit a bear market, the people that are going to survive are the ones with the lowest expenses. And that you're not going to survive in areas with high electricity rates.
Right.
Or, I mean, you could survive depending, but you're not going to be as well off as the guy, having, a third of the electricity cost.
Right. You got to get as efficient as possible.
Exactly.
And electricity cost is a big part of that. So tell us a little bit about this facility here that we're sitting in right behind us, behind this glass window. You have a data center. Give us the lowdown on the power coming into it, the cooling solutions, maybe how much you're currently pulling, the general idea in power, and what your experience has been setting that up.
Yeah, I mean, so everything's been great here. This is mainly for GPUs based because of how small the site is. So the ability to transfer all the heat out would be much harder if we filled it up with ASICs. And so right now, all of our rigs right now are on 120. We just added a 208, a three-phase 600 amp panel, and then we're finishing up the receptacles for that. So we'll have a lot more room to take on more clients once those receptacles are done. I think with 600 amps we can add, depending on what GPUs you have, I think 50 to 100 more rigs, utilizing 12 GPU rigs.
Yeah, and let's talk about the rigs. So you currently build everything into Octominers, right?
Yeah.
Okay. And you have like a deal with Octominers, so you can help maybe hook up customers between Octominers and yourself. I know on the website you sell the rigs, but you kind of have to pre-populate them, right? So you're buying, if we buy through your website right now, you can't necessarily get the Octominer by itself, but it comes with GPUs.
Yeah, and so that was just so we can kind of have a turnkey solution for clients. Like because with GPU mining, you kind of want to limit your variables. Like, for example, if you're going open airframe, you're building your own, you might run into the, riser failure. That's one of the that's one of the most common failures on open air frames, and so that's the reason why we went with a enclosed server chassis, just because it would reduce the amount of variables that can go wrong. And then also we sell it all the GPUs the same model in the rig, so that also reduces the variable of having different cards in the
Right.
rig that could potentially affect the stability of it. So that's kind of the reason why we do that. You can also purchase GPUs on our website and, build the open air frame, or if you have a server case, or if you want to order server cases to fill them up, you can do that. But that's the reason why we kind of have a turnkey solution for people, that they can just order a rig and not have to worry about anything else.
Yeah.
Well, you need an internet connection and power for sure, but besides that, it comes with everything. The cabling, we include a network cable, all the GPUs, the server case, and you're pretty much good to go. You just need to create your Hive account if you use Hive. That's the OS of choice for us and a lot of other big firms.
And so for the hosting, that does bring up another question too. If a user, basically end user, has you hosting for them, do they get to choose the mining pool, etc., payout address, that sort of thing, or do you basically distribute out post coming out of the mining pool?
No,
How does that process
everything is all that information is controlled by you. So whatever pool you want to use, that'll be the pool it mines to, and also the payout address. It'll be your address. You control everything. We don't touch any of the crypto that's mined. We just bill you monthly on the electricity usage plus the hosting fee.
Okay.
So we don't touch any of the
Yeah,
crypto.
you utilize essentially the full breadth of the Hive OS capabilities, where you have kind of dual management, where the user can log in, still manage their rig if they so wish.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Because you had also said you will help essentially with the tuning of the rig, so I didn't know exactly how that would go past that. So that's cool. And you have another location in Dallas, Fort Worth as well, correct?
Yes.
And that's going to be mainly focused on ASICs?
Yeah, there's GPUs in there right now, but we're looking to fill that whole site up with ASICs, just because of the amount of physical space that it has, and the ability to dissipate the heat. It would be a much better solution than the data center here.
Okay. And what's the power setup out there?
Basically, we're expanding to 1 megawatt.
Okay.
And then it has the expandability to another 4 megawatts, but we have to pay for some of the infrastructure costs. So that's basically where that site's at. It has a much larger power capacity than this site. And we also help with large-scale farm deployments. If you want to set up your own farm, we can assist with that. We supply a lot of other farms that are filling up their farms. We supply them with the equipment. So, I mean, yeah.
Cool. Perfect. Well, thanks for having me out today. I definitely want to go check out and get all the B-roll for everything around here. Let's talk a little bit about GPU supply, what you're looking at, what you're seeing as well in the market, and then maybe some of the offerings that you have as far as GPU supply goes, and how people can get connected with that too, because that's been a big deal, obviously, with the shortage here that we've had over the last few months. It does look like that's starting to be alleviated.
Yeah.
I think next month, the best tells I can tell from the reputable leakers like Gray Moon on Twitter, we should be seeing a huge increase in supply from both AMD and AMD and NVIDIA next month. Q2 is looking like the most production of GPUs since Q2 of 2018. So that's going to be looking good, hopefully. But right now, it's still pretty hard to find GPUs. And my understanding is you do have some availability there. What do you have? And where can people access it?
Yeah, so basically, for those of y'all who want to order kind of single units, we have everything on our website. For bulk inquiries, we can cater to that on custom deals, like such as the A series cards. We don't sell those individually because our supply chain requires us to purchase, hundreds at a time for something like that. So if you're looking for a couple hundred GPUs or 100 or so, then we can supply you with the consumer grade ones, the 30 series or the A series cards, which have a lot better availability. But we also do get bi-weekly shipments of 30 series, and we can also place those orders for you, whether you want 3060 Ti's, 3080s, 3070 Ti's, whatever it is. And we try to stay as competitive as possible, which is why we don't accept credit cards, because there's a 3% fee. But if it's something that you absolutely have to do, then we can probably cater to that. But it would require a slight increase on
So,
the price.
how does the method work on the website itself? Is it all cryptocurrency at this
It
point?
it's
Or
we accept cryptocurrency utilizing Coinbase Commerce, so
got it.
that's our merchant for that. We also accept wire transfer, or if you want to pay in person, we can facilitate that as well. It's just we want to be as competitive as possible, because 3% even on an ASIC, it's a large amount of money that you don't really benefit from, we don't benefit from. It goes to the processing companies. So we want to pass those savings along to you by competitively pricing that.
So for the 30 series, you can go to the website and do individual purchases,
Yes.
correct? And when do you list the GPUs that have come into stock on the website? When's the best time to check?
Anytime, and we try to stay as updated as possible. Things are always changing, with stock levels, but whatever's currently on the website is what we can facilitate. So we have I think 3 models of 30 series on there. We have, I think 20 units of certain models. It just really depends on what you're looking for, but we can always, like with our network of suppliers, we can help you find any mining equipment that you're looking to get, unless it's the new miner or anything fishy like that. We don't touch those.
Perfect. Cool.
Yeah.
I was checking the time. It looks like this is going to be pretty good to stop here. Omar, I appreciate you having me out here today. I am impressed with the center here. Hopefully we're going to go head out to Fort Worth
Yeah.
too, and get some B-roll out there as well, and then kind of have it. You probably guys have already seen it actually at this point with the editing and internet magic. So we covered the power out there as well. So you're going to go to 1 megawatt out there.
Yeah.
I assume that's. Oh, so that would be a good question. So when you're building out these types of these setups for the ASICs out there, and you're looking at plugs, for example. So one of the things I've been running into is I'm moving into ASIC mining on my farm, about 50/50.
Okay.
And the GPUs were different because you can run those off of basically traditional PDUs. So I'm full 220 for everything, right? Or 240, excuse me. So, but I have 240, basically 30 amp plugs for the GPUs, and then those go into a PDU, a 30 amp PDU, and I can plug multiple rigs into those. Now that
Yeah.
I've moved into ASICs, a lot of what I'm finding is it's better to have larger amp plugs, maybe something similar to what you guys would see with your stove ranges, etc., and then splitting those off. But I've also seen like the ASIC mining panels where you can get full panels with the straight
Yeah.
C13 or C19 plugs off of there. What's your plan? What are you looking at? What do you think's the most efficient for moving into that? Because that's a question I've always had.
Yeah. So I mean, with that site, I believe we're at 50 amp circuits at 208 3-phase. So we use 50 amp PDUs right there currently. So you can fit a couple ASICs per PDU.
If they're C13, right? It depends on. So, for example, all right. So if you have the Antminer S19 Pros, they use C13 plugs, and they'll use 2 of them, right? And then that can go into a PDU pretty simply. The C19s, where some of these cheaper ASICs, like the Koi miner, for example, they'll use a C19 that requires 16 amps on a single plug. I've been running into some issues with that. But I guess you said you got the 50 amp PDUs.
Yes.
Which PDUs are those?
I would have to check
Okay.
exactly with
Let me know,
installation
and then
team.
I'll put it down in the description below, and because I'm actually curious on what those PDUs are.
Yeah.
Because I've had to kind of bounce around trying to figure out how to manage that, because I've been going the Koi miner route, like I said, and the amperage through a single cable is quite intense compared to the amp miners.
Yeah, I know with some of the PDUs, they have like a separate bank system. So like,
Right.
you know, you would have 25 amps available on this bank or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you would probably just use that ASIC in that specific bank.
So I have the trip lights typically, which
Yeah,
are the
they're-
biggest ones.
I believe they're trip light.
And their C19, the problem that I ran into is that they're 12 amps. And I was needing 16 amps off of the C19.
Was that the provided cable? It was.
No, that's actually on the bank of the PDU. But we'll get into it, because
Yeah,
I'm definitely going to be making videos on that. I just kind of wanted to poke your brain on it while I had
Yeah,
you
I'll have to
around.
get a better understanding of your setup and what that issue is that you're
Yeah.
having. Just trying to visualize it.
Yeah, I can get you that, and that's definitely a video series that we're working on for the channel as well, moving into the ASIC mining space and kind of how that works out. Because the GPU side, like I said, it's pretty simple as far as like there's a lot of stuff you can do. Obviously, you said you're running off of 120 even right now here.
Yeah, but we added the higher voltage, so you know, we can become more efficient.
Right, because that's going to bring your efficiency up.
Yeah.
And that's one thing that's very important for everyone to understand. While you can run off of 120 for GPU mining, your number one goal is going to be getting that voltage up, because that does directly impact your efficiency rating and will essentially help you get more onto on less amps, essentially, and overall decrease your power bill even at the end of the day. So
Yep.
that's super important. But thanks everybody for watching. Be sure to hit the like, comment, subscribe, notification bell down below. Omar signing out. Tell us, where can people find you? What's your social media links? And what's the website? All of that good stuff.
Yeah, I mean, so for the company, you can just go to ProDirectMining.com or store.ProDirectMining.com, which is the storefront. You can contact us there on both those sites. We're on all the social media channels: Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, Reddit, YouTube, LinkedIn, Telegram, Pinterest, pretty much even TikTok. We're on all the platforms, so you know, you could follow us there, leave comments, direct message us, whatever it is, for any questions that you guys have, and you know, we're happy to help. And we are here local in Dallas, so if any of you guys in Dallas are stopping by, you know, we could always meet up, schedule an appointment.
Cool.
For that.
I'll leave all the links to the socials down in the description below, so you can click on over to there and get connected up. I'm glad to have found another mining supplier for y'all to get equipment through. I hope that it helps everybody in the entire community, because that's kind of what we're here for. And then, of course, as far as the rest of the channel goes, I'll see you guys next Tuesday. If you enjoyed this content, be sure to hit the subscribe button for more, or check out this playlist for more crypto content related topics.